like Declan Rice. Do it like popcorn, everything nice. Whoa.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hammers Fans United, and welcome back to the match preview for Manchester City v West Ham. I am joined by a very special guest and someone who's part of the channel, but obviously we wasn't taking it seriously, so you didn't really see him at all. But he's back, the big man, Davey. Davey, anything to say to the? We're on 500 subscribers now as well. Just
I've seen the channel grow, and it's been what a journey, Mark. It's been really good to see. I just want to say hi, everyone. Yes, I've been away for a little while, but I'm back trying to help Martin build the channel. I've seen him build it from the ground up, the ground zero, as they say. So and it's funny. Maybe I should, Martin, tell a little bit about how we met, etc. Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll use that, Martin. Titch, right? It's funny how Titch and I met, really, actually, because it's through football. Funny enough, I was doing we both do grassroots football. I was coaching a team, Martin was coaching another team in the same venue. We used to see each other and just say pleasantries, good morning, etc. Few little words in the mornings. When I was finishing, he was starting his session, and then I used to always see Martin sitting up and getting ready. I used to think in my head, right, this coach is passionate, man, and I used to think in my head, he reminds me of myself. He's always there early. He sets up, waiting for the kids. His session's all ready to go when the kids get there. You know, little things that you see as a coach that you think that you admire and think, this guy's passionate about what he does. And anyway, I used to see the numbers dwindling, and then we used to have conversation, and then I see him, the numbers go down, and I said to Martin, and then I spoke to Titch, and I said to him, if you ever want to, if you ever want to do more coaching, then come across us, because we ran a grassroots football club at the time called AC Fulham, and in fact it's still going. And cut a long story short, Martin took up that invitation, and that's how we initially got going together. He took a team on board, an age group. Because under 15s, is that right, Titch? Was it under 15s when you come across?
14. I think it was 14s at the time.
Yeah, there might have been 14s. Yeah, under 14s at the time, and and the journey began from there. And then while we was in AC Fulham, we started to do some stuff together, and then we got the concept of plan what we was going to do, how we was going to do the development centre, and it's just grown from there. And then it's funny because we found out after quite some time together that we were both West Ham supporters. It's crazy. It's like, I was thinking, I was the only West Ham supporter that I knew like this side. Obviously, we knew other West Ham supporters, but they were scarce, especially coming from the ends that we are. So, so then we realized that, oh gosh, there's more in common that we have than just obviously the coaching stuff. And then, we done the DBXL, we planned it, we organized it. We used to do some videos and stuff. Then Martin started getting into the thing, and I said to him, why don't you do a West Ham channel? Or I'd consider doing it, because he was doing well with the editing and stuff. And then, he started off doing Hammers Fans United, and it's grown from there, man. So, well done, Titch. Yeah.
But the thing is, remember, we knew each other before that. When you was coaching for Fulham, that's when. So further back when we was at Wandle coaching, and you would be there either on a Monday or a Wednesday evening with Fulham, maybe Wednesdays. So it goes back a lot further than that.
Okay.
And I'll give you a fun fact. So, we both support West Ham, and which is very rare. I don't know any other, down this end, any West Ham fans. And we share the same initials, but they are reversed. Obviously, I'm Martin Donnelly. He's Davey Morgan. And then just to add it into the mix, that means we both share, Davey, specifically the same initials as David Moyes, MD or DM. So, that's our little link with David Moyes.
Crazy, isn't it? And it's funny because our beliefs are similar in that respect, isn't it, Martin? Like the way we think. Yeah. So without going too deep into it, it's crazy. Like, we don't believe there's such things as coincidence, etc. So we think, it's almost like, I don't know, if the stars are aligned, and some things are meant to be. So
exactly. That's now you lot are gonna get to see Davey more so. So we needed a little introduction. David, the Wi-Fi up here is playing up, but if you ever get, I can't hear you, then I'll just say repeat that because this bloody thing keeps cutting.
No problem.
But yeah, like I said on the last one I've done with Cam, we used to follow this concept with on the DBXL channel, then over on this channel, and we just go through maybe 4 elements of the game and we give our predictions for those elements. So, Davey, we will start off with let me get it on the screen because I always forget.
And I have nothing pre-done. I've done nothing, so this is straight up.
No, I haven't even. So it's just like, yeah, we just do it. Right. So the first thing is we're gonna do a player to watch. Now, we will do one from each team. That's another concept you don't know. We'll start off with City. So if you was a neutral, who would be the one City player that is probably going to be available? Because you know certain players may not be available. Who would you pick out as a Manchester City player to watch?
Player to watch. Okay, that's a good one. And you know, Guardiola. I mean, he likes to rotate his squad. So, player to watch. I'm going to go with your mate, Jack Grealish.
You're going to go Grealish, yeah?
Because I know in Villa days when we played him, he didn't have. But I think he still scored in that game, didn't he? Do you remember with them?
No, he assisted. He assisted someone.
Okay, yeah. So I think he tends to play decent against us. So I think I'll go for Grealish. I think he's due a performance as well, actually, because since he's gone to Man City, rather, I don't think he's yeah, I did. I don't think he's pulled any trees. So
not yet.
Not yet. So
Jack Grealish.
Jack Grealish.
This might be a strange one for people, and I this is one thing that I did think about last night when I knew he was going to do this. My player to watch from City will be João Cancelo. I think he's a complete footballer, and he pops up all over the pitch, and he's a very, very dangerous player. You know, assists. Sometimes he chips in with a goal as well. So, I don't think De Bruyne may not play, and I don't know, so I'm not going to pick him. But I'm going to go for João Cancelo as a Manchester City player to watch.
Okay.
Okay. The irrelevant part out of the way. Davey, who's your West Ham player to watch and why?
I'm going to go for Fornells. You know, I'll go for Fornells. It's funny because do you remember that day when we did that video when we went to Chelsea to watch West Ham and we won 1-0? Yeah. And back then, I remember during the journey in the car, I was saying he wasn't playing that well. He wasn't playing as well as he's playing now back then. And I was saying, I quite like him. I quite like the fact that he's really technically gifted. I just thought he just needed time to get used to the Premier League and grow as a player. And now we're starting to see how good he really is. And I think there's still room for improvement. You know, I don't think we've seen the complete player as yet. So I'm going to go for Pablo Fornells based on what I just said. And I think he adds is under Moyes especially. His work rate is really high, like a lot of the other players, and technically, he's one of the best technical players in the side. So Fornells definitely, and I could see him scoring
a goal.
Yeah, I could see him scoring a goal. Yeah.
Right, just to touch on what Davey said in that game, and up until that point in the West Ham shirt, Davey was credit where credit's due. Davey was saying, look, I think he needs time. I didn't like Fornells. I was saying he looked like a kid playing in the Premier League, and I've said this on previous streams on whatever channel West Ham. So I openly admit that I wasn't a fan of his, but now, and this has been from all of last season and maybe the end of you understand. I've rated this guy, and he is vital to West Ham. He's a key player or a key cog in our sort of machine. So he's a fantastic player, and he's got a bit of everything. But I like his tenacity as well, man. I just think that. When he come in, it was all about the technical, but he's shown that he can, roll up his sleeves and all that. So I'm a massive Pablo Fornells fan, and I didn't used to be. Right, I haven't even thought about this, but player to watch. This is a hard one for me because I'm gonna go for Bowen. I think Jarrod Bowen, he needs to score more goals. He's got the ability to score more goals. He gets in a position and he doesn't. In the Europa, he should have had 2 or 3 goals. And I didn't even watch nothing of the Wolves game, but I'm hearing he should have scored at least 1 in that game. You still there, Davey?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was frozen. And that would be my Wi-Fi. So yeah, I was thinking Benrahma or Bowen, but I'm gonna go for Bowen. This is probably like, I'm gonna pick Jared Bowen as my West Ham player to watch.
Yeah, and to be fair, it was a toss-up for me between Bowen and Fornals. Yeah, and the thing is, I think with Bowen, he just has to, because he's got goals in and we've seen it already. I think he just needs to take a bit more care with his finishing, and if he does that, he will score goals because he gets in the positions, he gets the chances. I think he just needs to take a bit more care with his finishing, and then we will see him starting scoring some more goals. So yeah, it's another player I like, Martin. He's played really well for West Ham. Another hard worker, works his socks off. I mean, the old England debate thing, it's a joke really, because he should be there. He should.
Yeah. Or at least in contention.
Yeah, he should be a contender. If you look at his form, it's not over 1 or 2. It's been from last season to this season, so it's been consistent over a period of time. They should definitely have a look at it.
Okay. Right, David, do me a favor. Just move like that. I'm back. Okay, the reason why is because obviously Davey's son, who is no longer with us, is behind him, and he's not in the shot. So I thought, you know what, just Jermaine. That's another story, and we will possibly, it's because he's like fully blocked. So just get him in the shot, basically. Right, so we will move on to. This is a good one, actually. I like doing this one. Random prediction. Now, unlike when we was on the pundits, where there was points potential at stake, you could maybe go fully out there as to what your random prediction is for this game. And for those watching, this could be anything. It could be like literally anything. But yeah, what would be your random prediction for this game, Davey?
Oh, this is a tough one. Random prediction. I mean, this is a bit random, but it's not. I suppose it's not that random. But to think of it just off the top of my head, I would say Cresswell scores a free kick from outside the box. Yeah,
right.
Because I think he's due one. He's had a few, and he hasn't really hit the target. But I think he's due one. And if we get a free kick from outside the box, come on, Cressy, stick it in for us, mate.
Okay. All right, that's a good one. And like Man City generally don't concede a lot, so even to specify a free kick from a certain player, we'll see. All right, what I'm just thinking of this on the spot. I'm gonna go for. This might be a bit of an obvious one, but I'm gonna say Thomas Souček scores a header from a Jared Bowen corner. That's what I'm gonna say.
And it's funny because I was just saying about Cresswell, he's due a goal. I think Souček is due a header, isn't he? Because he hasn't really got it. Everybody else is scoring headers, and he's really good in the air, as we know. So that's not a bad one. It's not a bad shot. Huh?
And the thing is, in the Europa, we didn't take advantage of our corners. They was, below par from what we're used to, and realistically, that would be a good chance for us to score against City would be from a set piece. So fingers crossed. So yeah, that was nice and easy. Okay, this one is also very easy, but we can explain why we're going with what we're going. What would be your entertainment value out of 10 for Man City v West Ham?
I think it'll be a good game. I think it'll be a good game. I think obviously we can't go toe to toe with them, but I think we'll try and think. But I think we'll play. We'll try and play when we can. We have to be good in possession. The likes of Fornals, Benrahma, Bowen. We're gonna need to keep the ball when it goes forward and try to get in that way. But random entertainment value. Sorry, I would go 8 out of 10.
You think about 8 out of 10 game. I think, and you'll hear my thoughts in the correct score, which is after this. I think City is going to score a few goals, and I'm, hopefully I'm wrong. But I do think that West Ham will also have their moments in the game. So because of, you'll hear my scoreline, obviously, after this, I agree with Davey. I think it will also be an 8 out of 10 game. I think it will be definitely a good game to watch, more so if you're a Man City fan. But yeah, I'm going to go 8 out of 10 as well. Right, so like I said, that's going to be nice and quick, that one. We're going to move on to the correct score, but we would do it slightly different. We would go with our head and our heart. So if we go with our head first, Davey, like what would be your score? Then I'll do mine, then we do our with our heart. So what would be your, if you was a neutral looking in and you specialize in score predictions and all of that in the Premier League, what would you go for in this game?
In this game, I think it'll be a close game. You know, I don't think. Well, I'm hoping that we're not going to get smashed, and I think the first 10, 15 minutes will determine that. But I'm going with my head. I think close game, 2-1 Man City.
2-1 Man City. Right. So, and I would say this, yeah, Davey is always the more, when it comes to West Ham, he's the more optimistic. I'm definitely the more pessimistic. I sort of changed that, I think, when West Ham started showing me actually, like, you know, like we're actually now in the last season and we are actually a good team. So I'm a little bit more optimistic. But I also know about isolated games and one-offs, and it can happen to anyone. So I genuinely believe that with my head, Man City are going to turn it on today. I think that the Carabao Cup defeat to them will be extra motivation. The fact that they're at home, and you know, our last league game was against Wolves, and from all accounts, because I haven't even watched none of it, is we were not great in that game. So with my head as a neutral perspective, I'm going to say Man City 4, West Ham 1.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah, unfortunately. I did also predict 4-1 against Vienna, so, and I was way off there. Right, David, with your heart and your West Ham hat on, what is going to be your correct score?
Yeah. And you know, the funny thing is, Martin, because you just mentioned that the when we beat them in the Carabao Cup, and I think they will be up for this game. You know, they wouldn't have liked that. They will be up to try and avenge that defeat. But you know, I just think this season, with the Wolves last week's performance aside, and I just think if you look at the Wolves defeat, I think if you look at it when we beat Liverpool, we shouldn't really have got points from that game, right? The performance, and obviously we got the win, but I think if you would look at it before the game, say we was doing this before the game, we would have probably said Liverpool win, right? So that Liverpool win and that Wolves game, that's what cancels each other's out.
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah. So I would say, well, we could not afford to drop points, but I can understand why the performance was a bit low after an international break. But I just fancy us today with my head.
I
think if we win the game, it's going to be by 1 goal. And I don't know. I'd have to say 1-0 if we're going to win it. 1-0.
Jeez. Clean sheet at the Etihad.
Yeah, clean sheet. I think that's the only way we're going to win. I personally think that's the way we're going to win the game. 1-0, yeah. Okay.
With my heart, if I'm being realistic, and the fact that I think City will score, my heart would have to be a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
Yeah, because I can't see them not scoring. So, and remember, we ain't got Ogbonna, so I believe that we are weaker defensively than we would have been with him. So, yeah. You know what? I'm going to add one more thing into this, yeah? Because I thought of a player before we came on air. If you were to get into David Moyes' head and put one player in that hasn't been, you know, part of the main starting 11 for this game, who would it be? And I've got my player in mind, and I can go first if you need some thinking time, because this is like off the cuff.
That hasn't been starting regularly.
Yeah, who's not a regular starter for us. Yeah. Who do you think that he would potentially put in for this game against City?
I mean, if I had to choose a player, well, I do have to choose a player, don't I? Lanzini, I would go with. Manuel Lanzini. Just because I think, like what we alluded to earlier, is that we're going to need to keep the ball. He's pretty good in possession. Well, he's very good in possession. Another technical player that we have in our squad. So I would say Lanzini. For who? Questionable, but yeah, if I had to choose one to come in, I would say Lanzini.
Right. So a lot of, you know, other West Ham players have been calling for Lanzini. I thought he was shocking in the Vienna game. But, you know, like up until then, he has been doing really well. You know what? What came to me today is, and I could be way off the mark, but if Moyes were to, you know, play a wild card, I potentially think it would be Alex Krau, who hasn't played 0 minutes for us, basically. I think he may well put him in the middle with Rice and Souček, and he may well sacrifice Ben Rama and put Fornells out on left for his work rate. And you understand? So that would be my sneaky feeling that all of a sudden it wouldn't be Noble. I think where Krau is a defensive midfielder, and he's a big guy and he can get around the pitch. I think that may be something because of who we're playing that he could potentially do, which would shock everyone because he just don't really play any minutes for us at all.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a rough time. I think he had the corona, he got sick, and then I think he just struggled since then to come back. Maybe his fitness hasn't been right up there. It's funny because you mentioned him, and I saw some comments about him after the game midweek, and they were rinsing him. They were saying that Moyes can't rate him to play Noble in front of him, and I don't think that's the case. So I think I like you, Martin. I think he's a decent enough player. I don't think Moyes would have brought him in, and he hasn't really played enough minutes for us to say yes, or to even give himself a chance to be a permanent signing. But it's not a bad choice actually.
So we'll see. But yeah, that's it. We will be back. We're going to do a preview match review. At some point tomorrow when because Cam's going to the game. By the way, he's going. Yeah, he's going, and he doesn't get to all the games, and he's actually in Barnsley, so he's in Yorkshire. He's going to the game, and the last game he went to was Wolves, and he hadn't been for like 3 years, and he said he was poor. So I'm hoping that he has a better time this time. So yeah, us three will be back with the match review, and hopefully it's a positive one, as West Ham have done decent. You understand? Yeah. I think last time when we lost 2-1 to them last season, we kind of went toe to toe with them, and I love that. You understand? We lost the game 2-1, but it was like, you know what? If you're gonna lose like that, you understand?
Yeah, we had to go. Yeah,
we had more shots on target, but yeah, it was an even game. So if we are gonna lose, which I believe we will, let's go out, fighting. That's at the very least. But there, that's it. We'll be back, man. So I'll get back to saying what I always say. If you've got any dreams, any goals, any aspirations in life, stay on track, stay focused, don't be deterred, don't let no one get on your ear, ignore the haters. And by that, I mean, don't let no one burst your bubble. Hopefully, Davey, it's a positive result, but you know how we sign out? Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.
Selling black, going ham in West like Declan Rice. Doing like popcorn, everything nice. Whoa.